Welcome in after a long Christmas break. It is the Beast of the East podcast. Joining me to execute that is my two main men, Israel Troupe and Vinny Hardy. Merry Christmas. Belated Merry Christmas, folks. How's it going?
Man, Merry Christmas, everybody. Glad to be back.
Yeah, had a fun little hiatus, but glad to be back. 12:27 already.
Absolutely. Well, one of the benefits of being on this show is I can't eat, which I've done plenty of since we went on our holiday. So I got to get back in the gym and get that 6-pack going. That's beach time. I got to be able to take my shirt off and count my abs. Right now, I can count my abs very easily, just one. So we're good.
I've gained a solid 12 pounds since Christmas break, so I'm definitely getting back. Because I can't be getting picked at and out of shape when kids telling me to basketball games again. So got to get back in shape.
Exactly. Got to talk that trash and be able to back it up, right? That's my motto. I can't suck out there on the basketball court. Well, one of the gifts I got was a brand new kitchen knife.
Merry Christmas.
It was a meat slicer.
It works.
It works. It's sharp, folks. I was preparing something and my thumb just kind of peeked in there and said, "Hey, what's up?" Went right, almost carved the entire tip of my thumb completely off.
If you was on chops, I don't know. I watched the food shows. My wife like Corey, we can't eat your dish because you were bleeding when you were preparing your appetizer, and we're not gonna be able to taste your food. We're so sorry.
Yeah. We found part of your thumb in the salad bowl. We're gonna have to disqualify you. Oh man, we are live though. In the chat, it's not going yet, but I think our chatters are still on Christmas break. Hopefully they'll join us soon, but you can join the show. We are live actually here on y'all's conference network, and we are the Beast of the East. We are on the Believe Podcast Network as well. We are presented by Bet Online, and Bet Online is your fastest and easiest way to get all of the odds. Guys, there's plenty of stuff to bet on. There's some playoff stuff going on. There's in the NFL. That's the season's wrapping up there. I'm sure there's some odds on that as well. So head to the new and updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. Guys, it's bowl season, bowl mania. And right now, that means two things. Lots of football on weekdays and COVID. COVID. So COVID has affected a lot of these games, mainly Texas A&M. They decided they didn't want a piece of Wake Forest. They must have known they were going to lose to Wake Forest, and Jimbo didn't want to be, as our chat said, he didn't want to be the first 5-loss $100 million coach. Do you think it was legitimate, or did they actually duck Wake Forest?
It may be legit. A lot of teams are getting popped with COVID now because this new variant that's out. So it's hard to say that it's not true, but at the same time, I could see them running from Wake Forest because Wake Forest is not a bad football team. They're really good, and Texas A&M's defense has been struggling. So I could see them. I would hope not, but I could see them. Kind of shutting it down, and be like, we don't want to do
that. Yeah. I kind of giving everybody the benefit of the doubt with COVID. This variant is running everywhere. We're seeing cancellations in a lot of college basketball games, bowl games, a lot of players individually, coaches getting put on protocols and having to sit out and all that. So I kind of lean that it's more legit than it's not. But if you want to use it, then it is kind of convenient if that's the case. I think of Texas A&M is kind of the Larry David GIF from Curb Your Enthusiasm, where he's conflicted, where he's kind of because they got the 4-loss
Nice use of a
season.
reference.
We got the 4-loss season, and he's making all this money, but at the same time, we beat Bama, but we lost 4. So do we just want to skip this bowl game and just move on into getting ready for spring ball? And because my goodness, if you lose the bowl game, that's 5 losses in a season when you beat Bama, and that's just all kind of how they supposed to feel about that. So let's just slide on into off-season preparation and get ready for spring ball and move on. So maybe that is kind of subtly some of the mindset too. It's hard to say.
Well. To play devil's advocate on this whole thing, Vinny, is Zach Calzada hit the portal, and so they were going to use. I mean, I think they had one quarterback on the roster at this moment. I mean, I know they signed one in the signing day stuff, but man, it was getting kind of crazy there, or it was going to get kind of sticky for A&M. So I think it, I don't know. It just seems a little too coincidental to me. But then
Something's
again,
not right when your quarterback that just beat Bama's in the portal, and he started the whole season.
Yeah, and he probably would have ended up starting even if Haynes King didn't go down with injury. I think he probably would have ended up overtaking it. So who knows?
Jimbo's a QB guy too.
What's up, Jake? Yeah, he is. And so I don't know. It begs the question. They finished with the number 1 overall class. So are they just going to ride high on their recruiting national championship and let's just get ready for 2022? I don't know, man.
He makes Dan Marino look mobile.
Yes.
The competitor in me just wouldn't let that happen, no matter what.
No,
but
you can't. You gotta throw out whatever you got. Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah, A&M folks, who are they replaced by? Rutgers.
Might as well send Vandy. I mean,
does that not excite you? Rutgers.
Rutgers. I might bet on that game. I might bet the whole pot. See what happens.
Yeah, go ahead and bet your mortgage on Wake Forest now, because Rutgers they're less than stellar. There's a reason why they're not in the bowl game. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
Hey, at least they weren't scared. At least they weren't scared to throw their hat in the ring, though.
They didn't even finish asking them if they wanted to be in a bowl game. They said, "Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll go. Yeah. Come on, we'll go. They were all excited, like doing their dance. It's pretty crazy, man. So I like it. I like that Rutgers is getting a chance. I guess. I guess if you're a Big Ten fan, it's pretty good. But Harrison Bailey to Georgia Tech, man, that's a sinking ship. So I think he fell out.
Wow.
I think hey, Israel's back.
Yeah, it keeps kicking me out for some reason. I don't think it wants me to hang out with you guys.
I thought it was the A&M Mafia getting a hold of you, man.
They took me out.
Jake, Rutgers hasn't been relevant since Greg Schiano left, and Greg Schiano is back, so they're relevant again.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da! Rutgers. So, but COVID is wreaking havoc on all these bowl games. There's the Hawaii Bowl was canceled. There's probably going to be several more in the offing that's going to be canceled. So buckle up, and I hope your early picks were good in these bowl pick'ems.
Right.
Yeah.
Better program right now, Rutgers or Texas? I'd probably still have to say Texas.
Yeah.
I'd still have to say Texas. I know you want
the question.
The fact that we posed that question, we had to think about it for a second. It lets you know kind of where Texas is.
Yeah.
And kind of let you know where Rutgers is, I guess, right? So, but yeah, we are back, and this is our weekly. Hey, we get to make fun of Florida one more week.
Yes, we do.
And
they didn't even
Mizzou's
win the
just
after
sad.
game scuffle. They even lost that too.
God, Florida's got to at least win something, right?
Yeah, it's bad when the head coach doesn't even acknowledge the fact that they're fine. They're like, "No, it's fine." He's doing an interview, post-game interview. They even lost the post-game scuffle.
Yeah. Are they fighting back there? Yeah, they're not going to do anything. So
Are y'all surprised though? Really? I mean, y'all knew Florida's going to lose this bowl game.
they're so undisciplined. It's getting bad, man.
It
It had
was
gotten
sad
bad.
to see the level of which they played out. They just played bad. Well, defense didn't play bad, but the
They
offense
played.
just looked terrible.
Offense was terrible. Defense. What was bad about the defense was the undisciplined plays that they had, the penalties,
Hmm.
the big chunk plays they gave up, the momentum killers or momentum gainers for UCF that they gave up. Those things were lack of discipline from one person, killed their whole drive offensively or kept UCF alive defensively. And it's just you can't have that. I mean, you knew it was going to bite them in the ass. You knew it was going to come back and get them, and it did. So
Yeah.
good for Gus.
This was on a platter for UCF because y'all know Florida didn't want to be there, and that's a lot of these bowl games. You want to be there or not. UCF is dying to play the big state school,
Hmm.
and it's a bowl game. UCF, they'll play Florida anywhere, anytime, and Florida's just limping through this season, and now we're playing UCF, and I mean it was perfect storm for Gus, and it played out like that.
Exactly. And
Yes.
Steve, we did call Emory Jones in the preseason, so high five on that one. Now the Gator Mafia's gotten a hold of Israel. They're taking them to the swamp and they're disposing of them. So if you're out there, please save Israel. But no,
A&M Collie Dog again and the Gator
Yeah.
just both gnawing on Israel right now.
man, it's crazy. So even like what was weird to me is like usually when you're an interim head coach for the bowl game, like that's the most fun job because like you're not going to be that guy full time, so you don't have to deal with the stress. But you do get to say, "Hey, I was a head coach of the Gators once." Even that guy was like miserable. He was like, "When is this game over?" He kept looking at his watch. When is this game going to be over? He looked really disinterested.
He looked like he really didn't want to be there. There was a lot of
No.
really didn't want to be there guys. But if I'm a Florida fan, what am I thinking right now? I'm thinking that Billy Napier's done a great job of bringing staff in.
I'm thinking he can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's done way more than Dan Mullen did in the 5 years he was there. I'm excited about what the Gators are bringing to the table now, but that just looked bad. That game, the all-around game, it just looked terrible.
Yeah, it did. And, I think Florida fans should be excited with what they have coming in. They've got a great staff. Obviously, they didn't have enough time to finish better in the recruiting. So they're just going to have to kind of Windows me Israel. Oh, they're roasting you, Israel, on the chat. They're calling you Windows 95 Israel because you keep dropping out.
Look, I even have the new iPhone and everything right now, and I'm just like, dang, it just keeps kicking me off.
I know. They got me earlier, like weeks ago. They would hammer me. They call me Windows 95 Corey, so it's all good, man.
My time's
coming. Man, I love
not even laugh. My time's coming for whatever.
I was about to say, Vinny, you're next. It's coming.
Yeah. Yep.
You are next, Vinny. Buckle up.
Not about an if, but when.
Maybe tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotta love Apple products, right? So yeah. But yeah, our chat's blazing now. They got off to a slow start, but it's blazing now. But yeah, Florida, two things. A, we're excited that we got a new era of football with Billy Napier. Great hire, probably one of the best hires of the offseason. And B, now it's just time to replenish the talent and let's hit the portal hard so that the transition year is not too difficult. So, Vinny, you have a huge angelic glow behind you at times.
Is this light?
Vinny was sent down from heaven
whatever
to do the show.
The case over this light or whatever, it makes the light do that, and sometimes you get these little beams of whatever.
These Kentucky fans, man, it's basketball now, so he thinks, oh, I'm heavenly. I'm Vinny. I come down from heaven. Bow to me. Or as Steve would say, hail be to me. Yeah. Can we get a voice of God in here somewhere? So yeah, Florida. Let's talk about Missouri. How about that game? Right on cue.
Man, look, I am, as we all are, SEC pool form, bowl season. put every SEC school in both seasons except Tennessee. I can't. But everybody else,
I can't do Florida. I
Right.
can't do Florida. I could even stomach it and do Tennessee, but I cannot do Florida. I can't do it. Can't do it.
So having said that, seeing Mizzou and Florida, what happened to them, I'm not surprised. And Mizzou was the flavor of the week. We heard all season long. Oh, Kentucky, Missouri, second game of the season. That can be for second in the East. Blah blah blah. Heard it all summer. And Missouri is now 6-7 because I never bought into them, and they were.
And Basilic is in the transfer portal.
Right. I just I didn't drink the Kool-Aid, and so not surprised they lost their bowl game. Not surprised Florida lost theirs, and now it's just time for the rest of the conference to kind of pick up the slack from these two dropping the ball.
Mm-hmm. And A&M sure as hell ain't doing it either. So
right, yeah.
So Israel, if you were watching the game, the play to me that really summed it up was the play where the fullback just ran slap over the dude and scored.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. I don't know if you guys know Coach 30. I'm on Twitter. He is absolutely hilarious.
That guy, I love that guy. He's all over TikTok too. Yeah.
Oh God, he's hilarious, and it was bad. It was really bad. Missouri's defense was god awful. So
whole year.
What do you expect? The whole year.
They've been awful.
A sieve.
Missouri's run defense all year has been a joke. That's offensive to a joke. So man, it's brutal. Just watching them play defense, I'm just like, man.
And it's like what happened because they were much better last year. And this year they just plummeted.
Philosophy. They hadn't been the same since Barry Odom left.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they beat LSU last year. You know, you knock off the defending champs, and that's a great win at the start of the season, or so it seems. And that kind of put them in everybody's consciousness. Oh, Mizzou, whoa, Eli. That launched them and got them all this hype. We saw the season LSU had, which it turned out it wasn't a great win, but that led them into, after the 10-game SEC season, Missouri, second in the East, Missouri. It rolled, it continued to build, and they weren't up for that yet. They were not where the hype had them.
And Kiki Chisholm was invisible for most of the year. Tyler Batty was about the only good thing about Missouri this year.
Give him props.
And he opted out of the bowl game. He's going to the NFL, which I wouldn't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. So just pitiful, man. Just pitiful for Missouri. I don't like it. So they've got some work to do. They're gonna have to figure out the quarterback situation. They're gonna have to figure something out because you lose the Army and pretty much get dominated in the trenches by the United States Military Academy. Man, it's no joke. It's you got some work to do.
Tony Baker, I gotta look at myself and reflect. Gotta get my feet together. That's what Missouri got to do now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. They got to look at the man in the mirror. Mm-hmm. Is Drinkwitz the answer at Mizzou? I don't know. I don't know. As of right now, no. Their recruiting is non-existent. Their one good player just hit the portal. So yeah. I saw that Steve, Nevada's quarterback on social media posted, would give anything to suit up with my boys one more time. Yeah, he opted out. So, man. So I'll start with you, Israel. Which one of these bowl games has kind of stood out to you the most? Just not even necessarily SEC, just the one you've enjoyed the most.
Ooh, the Coastal Carolina game was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Western Kentucky game as well. That guy they throw the ball like 60 times a game,
and he's going to Texas Tech, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, to throw for over 5,000 yards. I mean that's very impressive. It is amazing that people just couldn't stop it.
No,
to throw the ball that many times.
Vinny, which game stood out to you? Oh, Israel, you're still going. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the OC, the former co-OC is now the OC at Georgia Southern, my buddy Brian Ellis. So congratulations to him. He's back with Clay Helton. So
that'd be a good fit.
Georgia Southern's about to be, look out for them. They had a really good recruiting class this year as well.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that Western Kentucky game. Bailey Zapp just lights the world on fire. 5,000 yards, 62 touchdowns. Absolutely amazing. Vinny, what were you going to say? Western Kentucky? You going to stick with your in-state brethren there?
Not this time, because honestly, I was when bowl season first starts, I'm kind of like the chat was at the beginning of this episode, kind of laying low and not, because I watched the season religiously. Initial bowl games, I kind of fade out a little bit, and then tune back in as the bowl games get bigger. But of the bowl games I did watch, the Wyoming Kent State one kind of stood out on the blue turf there in Boise.
I didn't know that quarterback had wheels, man.
Yeah. When he just went around the corner and so that
impressive.
That one kind of stands out of the bowl games thus far, and so we wait for the bigger ones to get down here.
Yeah, the Gasparilla Bowl was good as well. The UAB BYU game was really, really good. UAB put on a clinic on how to run outside zone. So if I'm Iowa, I'm watching them. I'm watching that game to figure out how do we run outside zone, because that's what Iowa likes to do. Mm-hmm. And there you go. There's your Iowa reference for the year.
There you go.
It is relevant though, because that's who Kentucky plays. So let's move forward, shall we? In the bowl season. So we are post Christmas in the bowl season. Right now, it is the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl up tomorrow. Got a host of bowls up tomorrow. Right now, it's the Quick Lane Bowl, the Military Bowl, playing tonight. Boston College, East Carolina, Western Michigan, Nevada. But let's look forward. Let's start with Jake's favorite team, Auburn. They play. They kick this thing off tomorrow with the Birmingham Bowl. They take on Houston. How do you guys see this one?
I like Houston.
Yeah.
I think Houston's going to pull it off.
So all right. I believe so. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, I'll say to kind of push back on you on that is the game in the trenches there. I think that I still think that, you look at SEC versus American Conference, and you look in the trenches, that might be where Auburn has their chance. But if it turns into a skill game contest, ain't no way Auburn's going to be able to keep up. If Houston can somehow find themselves in a 7-on-7 shootout here in the Birmingham Bowl, then I think Houston's going to roll. But if this becomes a messy game, a physical game, I think Auburn's going to have the edge. Auburn's defensive line is pretty good, actually.
Military Bowl is canceled too, so the BC ECU is
there you go.
Not going to happen.
Speaking of another game that was canceled, so hopefully this one won't get canceled. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Vinny, the Leach Bowl. They should just call this the Leach Bowl, because I wonder if he's going to go collect his check from Texas Tech after the game.
See, he's gonna see that and he say, "Hey, you got my check, please." No need to direct deposit. You can just hand it to me.
Just hand it to me. I'll take it from you. Go ahead. You still owe me $9 million.
I think he's gonna get him too. He's gonna beat him and ask for his money, because they ended the season pretty strong, and I think they'll keep it rolling in the bowl game. Go to Memphis and handle biz against the school that kind of put him on the map as a head coach.
And did him dirty too.
Yeah, he beat Texas and everything. Come on, man.
Exactly. They've I'm sure they've regretted their last two firings with Kingsbury and Leach. Both of them having great success in their next stops.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I'm rooting for State. I know that's kind of the anti Ole Miss thing, which we have several Ole Miss people on here.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Hotty toddy, Steve. But and my mic is cut. No,
hey, you're about to be fading out like me here in a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm about to be the question mark. I may not return either. So yeah, Locked On Podcast Daily at 10 Central. Yes, take that. Take the under on the State game. Nah. Yeah. Definitely don't take the under on that one. There'll be no defense played in that game.
Scoreboard lighten up.
They're gonna test every single light bulb. Oh,
Yep.
Rebel Nation took out Israel. Will Rogers is impressive. He's an impressive quarterback. I love I love just watching him play. I love watching this Mississippi State team get after it, and they're still very, very young too.
Yeah.
That's the impressive part. They're still very, very young.
He carved us up, completed like 99% of his passes. So I can't say nothing bad against him.
I'm glad we didn't play him. We played him last year in the COVID year, and they put up a lot of yards. They just couldn't get in the end zone.
I think he was like 39 or 42 or something. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was just playing. It was like 7-on-7 all night for him. We had no resistance that night.
Yeah. Was the over under like 100 guy? Cody? I have to look that up. I'll have to look that on Bet Online. So yeah, there you go. The Liberty Bowl. Israel, do you like Mississippi State in this one?
I like Mississippi. I like Mississippi State, and I must say the Liberty Bowl was one of the most fun ball games we went to as well. Down there in Memphis, I mean, we got to see a little bit of everything. So I really do like Mississippi State in this one.
And a couple interesting non-conference matchups that we'll kind of get out of the way. UCLA, NC State, West Virginia, Minnesota. Which one of those games stand out to you? Are you excited about either of those games?
I like the UCLA matchup.
Yeah, I think
that sounds like it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been going back and forth with UCLA and NC State. I think they're both they're both really similar. I think the Holiday Bowl did a good job selecting their teams because this is a really good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And then West Virginia, Minnesota, you could just you just throw a dart and try to figure that one out.
That's a great thing about bowl season. You get to play people you don't see all the time.
Exactly. New fan base, new opponents, new everything. So I'm here for it. The prestigious Cheez-It Bowl. Clemson, Iowa State, two teams that severely disappointed their fan bases. Clemson should have ran away with the ACC. They did not. They didn't even.
So who now calls plays for Clemson?
Rod Streeter, I think. Rod Streeter, I think, and then some dude that looks kind of like me on defense.
Is Streeter the one that holds the big call sheet on the sideline?
I think so.
The one that's big as a kitchen table, which is impressive. He walks around with that the whole time.
I know, like Israel, you're an offensive coordinator too, and I know I've seen your play sheet. It's a standard landscape letter size piece of paper, right?
Yes.
Mine is the same. Mine's in portrait mode, and I really don't ever look at it, to be honest with you. I already know what's on there. I kind of just go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you really ever going to read that?
No, I'd get lost.
Yeah.
It's like this big.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the font is probably like 4. Like we had to call games on wristbands this year. And even that was hard, like scrolling through the numbers and saying, okay, play 25, or like, when you're trying to figure out, instead of just calling the play and signaling it in, like we had a wristband, which it was so clunky for me. But I had the list of the wristband numbers, and that's kind of how I organized, just by wristband number. And I organized the wristband by like play type at least, and I had it highlighted and everything, so I could like glance down and find the section really easily. But then like I struggled like finding the formation that I wanted, because I was like, okay, is it on the card? Is it on the wristband? Play 18. And I ended up wasting 20 seconds just trying to figure out where it is on the sheet so I could get it called versus, just popping it out of my head.
Have you all scheduled each other yet? I know you'd had an out-of-state game sometimes. Have y'all scheduled each other?
We ain't got the budget to travel that far.
Yeah, no.
I can tell you that.
Well, we could,
I'd
but
love to.
We won't be traveling to Tennessee anytime soon.
No.
It would be cool, though.
Corey needs to get organized. I'm probably.
You in South Georgia, Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the Benny.
Where at?
Albany, Georgia.
We got our niece lives in Statesboro. I don't know if that's close to you or not, down there by Savannah.
Okay, yeah, that's on the other side.
Okay.
Nice little 5-hour drive.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's pretty much straight shot there down
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
He lives at Israel lives in the fattest part of the state where like it's the widest that it is, and he lives like
Okay.
Albany is like all the way close to like Alabama and Florida. It's like
Hmm.
right down there. Isn't it
Okay.
like 45 minutes from Tallahassee or something like that?
Yeah, and I'm like, give or take 45 minutes from Fort Benning.
Oh, okay.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, that
So
would be a haul for y'all schools for high school to
Yeah,
go to
boy.
Nashville or vice versa.
yeah, or go down to the freaking depths. They'd probably more want to come up our way.
It wasn't like
vice versa.
Chattanooga, Fort Oglethorpe. It wasn't that close, right across the line type deal, y'all.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we are
really far.
that is an 8-hour trip.
Right.
On a bus is probably 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Whew.
So speaking of 10 hours, it's going to feel like 10 hours watching this game, Clemson, Iowa State. Brees Hall is not playing in this game. Clemson, they don't have a quarterback either. I mean, they do, but they don't. So
They do, but they don't.
The play calling is it's a big fat I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm going to say Clemson just because
they barely Clemson.
Barely,
yeah,
they eke it out some kind of way.
They figure it out. So yeah, Steve is 45 minutes from Orlando and Tampa. That's talking about being like right in the middle of where you want to be. The Battle of the Carolinas, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, is one that probably should happen every year. I think this should open the season at least every other year. North Carolina, South Carolina. Shane Beamer had a tremendous season.
Mhm.
Had it not been for some other of his in-conference colleagues, he probably in a different year probably would have gotten Coach of the Year for the effort that he put at South Carolina, getting them to a bowl game. Does he finish the drill here against North Carolina, or does the Tar Heels prevail?
I think he does. I think he finds a way. I think defensively they get a couple stops, and it's kind of be a knockdown drag out. But I think they'll kind of like Clemson. They'll find a way.
Give me the Gamecocks in this one.
Yeah,
I like him. He took
do
an
too.
underachieving team and achieved a lot this year with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Florida is Florida, and they are where they are, playing undisciplined bad football, and it started with it really. I mean, it started before the Georgia game. There were shades of it, but Georgia, I think, finally put the finishing touches on them and broke them, and then they were broken from there on. But
they had the start fest in Lexington. So
to beat Florida the way they beat Florida was impressive. So I think they can do something similar. That defense is playing their asses off, and they've got. I don't know. They got to figure something out at quarterback, but they will. They will. I think they will, and I think they will have a good game here in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and I think that's going to give them a lot of momentum. So
they just got Rattler for next year, so
exactly. So they figured it out.
They're going to be where Missouri should be going in the next year.
Yep.
Yes, that's a good point right there for sure.
Yep. That's for sure. So will Rattler fit into South Carolina? Who knows? It might be square peg round hole, but it's a dynamic player. So there you go. Better quarterback situation. Clemson or the New Orleans Saints? Yes. That's my answer. Yes.
He living good. He just said yes.
Yes. Oklahoma, Oregon playing in the Alamo Bowl. I think that's a fun matchup of two very underachieving teams. But Oklahoma, I think, wins that one because it's going to be a physical football game, and that's how Oklahoma's going to win it. Tennessee, Purdue. This one's hanging on by a thread because COVID, the Omicron has knocked out all most of the festivities that they've had. But one of the weirdest sights of all time was seeing Tennessee practice in Vanderbilt Stadium.
Oh, that's weird.
It's very, very weird.
That is weird.
Very weird. So, but we talked about Tennessee all season long. Just explosive offense. Hendon Hooker was the right move for them. Josh Heupel's having a tremendous season. Again, he's put up Coach of the Year type effort as well. Probably in a different year, he might be Coach of the Year too. But this team has got a lot to overcome still. Depth issues and things like that.
Right.
But Hendon Hooker is playing in this game. He is coming back for one more year, so that's exciting for Tennessee. They do get some. They did have a pretty nice recruiting class, and we'll talk more about after the bowl seasons are over, and we might do recruiting stuff, after the second signing day, and just kind of wrap up the whole 2022 class stuff. So, but Tennessee, man, it's they're fun to watch, man. And this is gonna be a fun game. This is gonna be one of those games where you probably want to take the over. Tennessee might come close to hitting the over by themselves.
And I think they'll end up beating Purdue. And to see what Hooker was at Virginia Tech, and then to make the transition he made,
that's
going
called
to this system at Tennessee is you gotta tip your hat. And I hate to say it, I think Tennessee will beat Brown's boys. He's at the other arch rival. He's a Louisville guy, but I think Tennessee will boil the boilers if they get to play it.
If they get to play it.
I hope they do. This whole COVID thing is like everybody's having fun, and COVID was like, nah. Let me go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of take some of this fun away.
Let me go ahead and give me COVID is the Grinch.
I ain't never went nowhere. What is COVID letting everybody know? I ain't left. I'm trying to talk normalcy, this and that. I ain't going nowhere.
COVID's like
all his relatives are coming. That Delta.
I bring my cousins to the party. Yeah, COVID's bringing his cousins, man. This is not fun. He's bringing his delinquent cousins. It's just the one that comes over and just starts breaking stuff for no reason.
Yes.
Yeah. Cousin Eddie could his cousins.
Cousin Eddie, yeah, definitely ruining the party. He's out front. You know that scene.
Real nice, Clark. Really nice.
Really nice, Clark. Man, this is. You didn't think you'd come on to Beast of the East and get some Christmas Vacation references, did you?
Mm-hmm.
See, you never know where we're going to be.
Hey, that's it, man. We unpredictable up in here.
Unpredictable. Well, according to BetOnline, Cody, to answer your question, according to BetOnline, the over/under is set at 58 points for the Mississippi State for the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State, Texas Tech, and Mississippi State's favored by 9.5. Just so you know,
I'm taking the over.
Definitely taking the over. Definitely, and then Mississippi State might get close to their. Yeah. Wow. One of these comments, we got some bots coming in. Some Russians.
Oh,
I'd rather lose to the Russians. Ivan Drago's coming on our chats here. So, yeah, bots. I must break you.
Weird.
Yeah, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Let's wait a second. Never mind. Yeah. Israel, not Israel, but Vinny, your game, Kentucky, Iowa, the Citrus Bowl.
It's kind of like it's the whole NCAA tournament where we don't put teams together because of storylines, but they actually do. And Stoops is an Iowa alum. All his brothers played there, and so that whole Iowa angle is huge. The biggest thing, of course, everybody knows Iowa is good at the takeaways. Kentucky was kind of struggling with the giveaways. Levis threw some picks. Rodriguez, put the ball on the ground a lot. If Kentucky just hangs on to the ball, play a clean game, I think Iowa has the offense to do anything with Kentucky. So you play a clean game, hang on to the rock. I think Kentucky can win kind of comfortably.
Vinny, let's be honest about this thing. Play a clean game and score 17 points, and Kentucky's got it in the bag.
Yeah. So don't because they're opportunistic. They get the picks, they get the fumble recoveries, and that's they hang around, and they won 10 games doing that. playing two phases of football, defense and special teams. Their offense was MIA all year. So as long as we didn't come out there and we saw the South Carolina game. Kentucky had 4 fumbles, and they win the game 16-10. That they should have probably won 30-10. So if you do that, you'll keep Iowa in the game, and we've seen Kentucky do that. So
and you can't keep Iowa in the game. They played they played okay against Michigan in the Big Ten title game, but obviously that was a glaring mismatch. So I do like Kentucky in this one. I think they do kind of keep it clean as far as not turning the ball over too much, and I think their offense is dynamic enough that when they do take care of the football, they can score some points. They do a lot of good things, but yeah, they just got to take care of the rock.
Just hang on to it, and it'll be fine. It's
really Israel, the pit boss, takes on Penn State in the Outback Bowl. Arkansas, are we woo pig suey here, or do they have a chance, or is Penn State too much for them in this situation? What do we think about Arkansas? This is a team that for me it's been hard to figure out.
I like Arkansas. I want to take Arkansas here, but I think it'll be a lot closer with Penn State. Mm-hmm. They kind of they hit a little snag in the middle of the season, and then they got a lot better toward the end. So they kind of hit a little stride here. So I'm going with Arkansas in this one.
Franklin gonna find a way to lose this one.
Yes, he will. Exactly. Yes, Franklin
will find a way to lose this game.
Yeah, he got a check already, so he's like, man, what's the matter?
Yeah, he got his extension. So we're
already did better than last year. What they win last year? 4 or 5 games, and I've improved a lot already, and look forward to what else we can do. But I think he'll find a way to get Ifson up to old Sam.
That's right. Yeah, old pit boss. What's he gonna do? He's gonna turn on a damn jukebox. I love that. Turn on that jukebox.
Yeah. Speaking of jukebox, did you guys see on Twitter of Coach O reading A Christmas Story? Mm-hmm. Oh, it was beautiful. It was
night before Christmas.
Beautiful.
The Cajun night before Christmas.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Night before Christmas. Down on the bayou.
Yes. You sound just like him.
Not a creature stood. Not even a mouse. They were getting the gumbo ready. Yeah.
Vinny, if you haven't seen it, you have got to go and find that of him reading that story. It is priceless.
Look that up.
Please look that up. It will be awesome. You'll and while you look that up, we will talk Ole Miss Baylor. Israel. I like the Hogs, man. I think KJ Jefferson's going to be really good. He's going to be really dynamic. I think even, they're just good. I like them.
Yeah.
They're physical. They're explosive. They kind of got, talent-wise, they're kind of starting to catch up with the rest of the conference. And when they do, they'll be scary. But Ole Miss Baylor, this game, the All-State Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day, this game's going to be fun, I think, because they're built very, very similarly. And I think that when you look at Ole Miss with Matt Corral and what they've been able to do, even with all the injuries, they've been able to sustain a 10-win season. Lane Kiffin, again, putting up the theme of the show is putting up Coach of the Year type performance for Ole Miss. And I think that when you look at them, I just think it's, Matt Corral's got something to prove. He got snubbed and with the Heisman finalist deal. And I know in the grand scheme of things, it may not be a big deal, but it is because he was the second best player in the country behind Bryce Young. And it was even kind of like a 1A, 1B type deal. Like you could have picked either one of those two and I would have been good with it.
Yeah. This game is kind of a toss up because I want to pick Baylor, but it's just something about Ole Miss's offense. It's just like, at some point, they're going to break it open.
Mm-hmm. Well, once they get that back-breaking score, Vinny, they can pile it on, and they've got a running game that can chew clock late in the game with Snoop Connor and Jaron Ely. They've got all the elements that you need to have an explosive offense, and they've been playing a lot better defensively. They've been a little bit more risk-taking, I guess. They get after the quarterback. They do have a lot of sacks. They do have a lot of pressures, But with that, when you take chances, you are going to get burned a few times, and that they have. So, you know, are they going to be able to do the same thing without Lebby? Really, this is a Lane Kiffin offense anyway. So, I mean, what does it matter? Lane's got his hands all over this. So, I really like Ole Miss in this game, not because I dislike Baylor. I think Baylor's good in their own right. I think defensively they're really good. Aranda's got them going in the right direction. But again, I just think that this matchup is not great for Baylor. And I think Ole Miss has that potential. Israel, when we talk about tempo offense and why tempo offense is successful, it's because it puts pressure on the other team, not only to stop you and try to figure out what you're doing in 10 seconds or less, but it also puts even more undue pressure on the opposing offense because they feel like they have to score every time they touch the ball or they're going to lose or they're going to get blown out. And that can lead to a lot of unforced errors as well. Ole Miss does a really good job at tempo. They do a really good job of managing all that stuff. And you have a risk taker as your head coach. So, he ain't scared to go for it.
You got to. And that's the thing, like what Vinny says with Kentucky, they went from huddling and kind of power eye, 2 tight end type deal to now they're no huddle. So like you said, that causes a little bit of mistakes and things like that. But, that's the risk, with the high reward. If you do it good, you score a lot of points. If you don't, turn the ball over.
Exactly.
So y'all just don't think Baylor can hold him down the whole game? I mean,
they will for a while,
right? But
they will for a little while. But
damn, gonna burst at some point.
It's gonna burst. I think this is gonna be a depth game, honestly. Because Baylor's every bit as good as Ole Miss. And that's not a slight on Ole Miss. I think Baylor's a really good football team, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Big 12, however you want to take that. But they're a really, really good football team. They just don't have SEC depth. Ole Miss does. And Ole Miss, again, it's going to be one in the trenches, and I think Ole Miss has more people in the trenches than Baylor does.
See, it all came back around, Steve. We were talking good about Mississippi State, but it all came back around, and we ended up giving Ole Miss some love, man. It's all right.
Steve knows how I feel about Ole Miss. I've been high on Ole Miss all year.
Yeah, and I haven't clicked off yet. So I mean, hey, it must something must be going on, right?
Is he here to stay? Vinny is bringing it. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
It's been 5 minutes, and I haven't gone anywhere.
DGD, UGA better take care of business. Damn right. Speaking of taking care of business, the Tax Act Texas Bowl. So by April 15th, you better take care of your taxes. Tax Act is the way to do it. But the Texas Bowl, LSU, Kansas State.
I'm taking Kansas State.
I am too. I am too. They're gonna beat the LSU family in this game. And they just Taylor Martinez just transferred there from Nebraska, so that's going to be a breath of fresh air at the quarterback position.
31 years old, man.
I know, right? He's been playing there since I think he was teammates with Scott Frost.
Yeah.
But if Skylar Thompson if he stays healthy and can finish the game, which that's a coin toss in and of itself. I'm pretty sure there's a prop for if Skylar Thompson's going to finish the game or not. If he can finish this game, this might get ugly for LSU. I mean, Kansas State, they're a really good physical football team. When they have Skylar Thompson playing quarterback, they're even on a different level than that. So I like Kansas State.
Yeah. At this point, it's LSU's kind of like Florida. We here, but we ain't here, and we don't. It's just let's move on to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Ohio State, Utah, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State. Notre Dame hit a grand slam like 3 times in a row by sticking with Marcus Freeman. I think that was a great call on that hire. I think they're going to roll right through Oklahoma State. I think this was not going to be close. Ohio State, Utah. I really like Kyle Whittingham in this Utah team. That's going to be the Rose Bowl is going to be a really, really fun game for me because I think Utah's got it in them to beat Ohio State.
It's Urban Meyer Bowl.
Exactly.
The Urban Meyer Bowl. He might be there.
Yes.
He ain't got nothing else to do. Yes.
So those cheerleaders, they better have some security around those cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Urban Meyer got a hold of Israel. cut his feed, man. But all right, so let's talk about these playoff games, right? Alabama, Cincy. Does Cincy have a chance?
No. I think it's the end of the line. They had to go undefeated twice to even be here. Good for them for making it. And Fickle's a good coach, and they might throw a couple of punches, but it's just. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think it'll be close for a little bit. I think they have the secondary to match up with Alabama, but I think Alabama's going to try to run the football, and they do not match well in the trenches at all.
No, not a chance. I think they'll struggle with Desmond Ritter early, but they'll figure it out and they'll shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
I doubted Alabama for a little bit before they played y'all, and then I learned my lesson. And so they were wounded, and there was blood in the water and all that. I hate to bring that up, but I'm
Too
I'm
soon.
gonna quit doubting Alabama.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to doubt them now against Cincinnati.
No, definitely not doubting them against Cincinnati. They're looking and I'm sure Bama fans are rooting for Georgia. They want that as all SEC title game because that would make the rest of the country just cringe.
I want that too.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing on that real quick. I think
I just want a piece of Bama again. I want another bite at the apple.
I think maybe we would be objective enough that if we were born and raised in Big 12 country, born and raised in Pac 12 country, I think we'd be objective enough to still look at the SEC without hating on it and be like, no, they're just better. I think we would. But the rest of the country hates and gets so mad and gets all this fatigue. The Big Ten gets upset and all this stuff. If all these other conferences had put together 7 national champions in a row, then they could flex like we do. But, the Big Ten hasn't had Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin string together 7 straight national titles. No other conference has done that. So y'all can get SEC fatigue all you want. Y'all can get tired of us all you want. But until y'all do that, deal with it. That's how I feel. I don't know. I just had to say that.
Well said. Well said.
Yes, I'm with you. And this is the first time we've had more competitive Big Ten teams than just Ohio State either. So y'all just sit down and enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Because
exactly. Enjoy a good football game and quit whining about it.
Because growing up in SEC, I knew the SEC wasn't the best basketball conference in the country. Well, the Big East, the ACC, I was objective enough to know, Syracuse and Georgetown, all them back in the 80s, Duke, North Carolina, Wake Forest with Randolph Childress. I knew, okay, that conference is better. So why can't they objectively look at the SEC and just tip their cap? It's the best conference. But no, they want to get tired of it, want to get mad at us when you get the SEC chance at the end of bowl games. Because the SEC is, 10-2 or 11-3 or whatever they are every year. They just want to hate every year.
Exactly. Well, speaking of hating, there's a pretty good, not really hating, but there's a pretty good conversation going on in the chat over here about UGA Michigan. Kid, does Michigan have a chance? To me, I think what Michigan is really good at also happens to be what Georgia's really good at defensively. And vice versa. I think that UGA can beat Michigan with Stetson, with JT, with Brock Vandegrift even. I just think the style of this game is going to be a slugfest, and I think Georgia has more bullets in the gun here with this matchup. But Israel, do we is it time to see JT? Is it I mean, how do we see the quarterback situation? Do we think JT is outplayed Stetson in practice? What do we think here?
I think the game plan we had against Alabama, we need to get away from. Me and you talking to some of my buddies as well. That game plan was more so meant for JT. And if you want JT, if you're gonna have a game plan for JT, put JT in the game.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go with Stetson, do what Stetson does well. So don't try to outcoach yourself. And I think that's what we did in the SEC championship game, and in this game, you're not gonna have to do too much. Yeah. Whoever you go with, stick to that game plan, and let's go to work. You got whatever quarterback you're going to use, you have to use their strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I
Exactly.
feel about it.
And
Whoever
you
you're going
can't
to use,
and you can't
do
play
that.
and you can't play scared.
No.
You cannot play scared. That's for sure. You have to go down swinging if you're going to go down swinging, whether it's going down to Michigan or going down to Alabama in the title game, whatever the case may be. You just have to let it all hang out and just freaking go with it, man. And
You got to
if
grow a
if you're
pair of
going to do
nuts
it
and let them drop and go to
exactly,
work.
get after the quarterback. Just go, man. So to me, I think you have to prepare to beat Alabama. And I love Stetson to death, right? I think he's done a tremendous job, but I think he's maxed out. I think Alabama's figured out that he is not a vertical threat passing the ball. I think the teams he's played against haven't been good enough defending him in the intermediate game, and hadn't been able to get enough pressure on him to force him into the box that Bama forces him into. I think if you're going to beat Bama, you've got to beat them with quick game, and you've got to beat them with somebody that can push the field vertically. JT does both of those things. And yes, JT has limited mobility. I get that. But I think his strengths match up against Alabama's weaknesses better. And that's assuming we beat Michigan. But I think, we got to go out. The game plan against Michigan is go out, be physical, run right at Aiden Hutchinson, just punch the running backs in the mouth, force Cade McNamara to beat you, and let's go. And then just say, hey, we're going to keep coming in waves, man. We're going to keep bringing these defensive linemen in waves. We got 2 full units of guys that could start anywhere in the SEC. Bring it, right? We got linebackers that are going to be playing on Sundays next year. Bring it. That's what we're going to say against Michigan. And I hope that's what we say against Michigan. I hope we got an aggressive game plan, and I hope that, I hope that it all works out, and hope that it all comes into place. And whatever, I'm obviously going to be behind whatever quarterback is in there. That's no doubt. I'm not saying that if Stetson's in there, I'm going to throw away all my Georgia stuff and just not watch the game, because that's not true. But I just hope that we learn from the mistakes that we made. I just hope that if we're going to play Stetson, we play Stetson and not play Stetson with a JT game plan, and not play trying not to lose. Yeah. So, and I think if we do those two things, we'll be in a lot better shape.
And there's the sample size. Y'all played Alabama with Stetson 2 years in a row. So there is that as far as maxed out and what he does against Bama and how he can't really exploit Bama's weaknesses. On the defensive side, how are they going to respond? Because they're kind of like Mike Tyson when Buster Douglas knocked him out. How are they going to respond against Michigan? And then you get past Michigan, Alabama again, because there were no chinks in that armor until Bama. And now have they squashed all that and moved on? And how do they reset?
Vinny, this is a mature group. I think they're pissed off. I think they were smelling themselves a little bit. I think they're pissed off now. Israel?
That was embarrassing on both sides of the ball. I mean, and as a coaching staff too, they were scared of Alabama. I said this and I say it all the time. They were scared of Alabama. I don't know why. The bigger the opponent, I think you'd be hyped to play them, but they were scared in the SEC championship game. All the other games, I don't think they were scared of them, but for some reason, this game they were scared, from coaching staff all the way down to players.
Exactly. And Steve, I'm not burning any of my Coach Prime stuff. Coach Prime dude's a star, man.
Burning Coach Prime.
Yeah. Oh, you Florida State fans, man. Talk about being unhinged. But so inevitably we're looking at a Bama Georgia national championship. We're staring that in the face. Hopefully it's not a Bama Michigan, because we know how that's going to end. But you get a Bama Georgia national championship game. I mean, it's again, it's just getting pressure on Bryce Young, honestly. And if Cincinnati can figure out a way to do it, they'll have a little bit more success too. I don't think they will, but he's you have to force him. He's a special dude. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, but he ain't immune to getting rattled. He's still a freshman. He's still young. So if you can hit him, I was watching that Man in the Arena documentary about Tom Brady, and the one where Michael Strahan is on it. where they're talking about the first Super Bowl they lost, the 18-1 season. Strahan's like, yeah, you can't sit back on Brady. You got to come after him and you got to hit him. That's the only way to break. That's the only way to beat him. You just got to hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him again. Like you got to get hits on him. Whether you get sacks is irrelevant. You just got to hit him because he's going to start looking down.
Mm-hmm.
And he might burn you a little bit in the first half, but he's going to start looking down at that rush if you keep hitting him. You can't, and you can't bring the same lame ass blitz every single time either.
That's true.
Nope, and nope. I'll get you beat.
It will get you beat. It will get you beat. You want him to look at the line. Yes, I do want him to look at the line when there's receivers going downfield. No John Mechie. Does that hurt them? I don't know. They've got freaking 5 stars all over the place. Does it really hurt them? I don't know. Probably not. Somebody else will step up for Alabama. But, again, it doesn't matter, Mechie or no Mechie. If Bryce Young is constantly on the ground, he's not going to be able to throw the ball. So, yeah. Means you bracket Williams, yeah. You don't let him off the line either. You get Keely Ringo, and you get him to harass him all freaking game long.
Yeah, let's not give up inside leverage again. Anybody. Cincinnati, that goes for you too. Don't give up inside leverage to any of those guys because you can't catch them. No. We saw it. We got Coach 30.
The
SEC championship game. We got Coach 30.
He got us good, man.
I'm just gonna let him run by. I'm not really gonna be an athlete.
We're gonna pee down my leg.
Yeah, moment got too big.
Moment got too big for me.
He got Lewis Singh and Keely Ringo. I'm just gonna run by. Just gonna let this guy split us. Got safety help. You thought you did. Oh, that was funny.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That guy's awesome, man. That guy's made himself a viral TikTok and social media sensation, man. So if you haven't checked him out,
that's exactly what happens if anybody's ever been to film session, that happens in real life. Except for the mama jokes, because he'd have to fight me if he talked about my mama like that. But the conversations like that, they really happen in the film room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've said a few of those things. So look at this wet spot on you. That's so yeah. I've said those. I'm sure Israel said those too.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna try to reach out to that guy, see if he wants to come on and just talk.
Dude, he's great.
So
and he knows football too, which makes it that much better.
Oh yeah. That's a project for me. So but anyway, well it was a great return back to the airwaves after Christmas break on y'all's conference network and also the Believe Podcast Network. All of our social media information is right here down below. Subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that bell. Vinny's channel, Believe in Kentucky. Follow him. Follow our channel, Believe in Georgia Dogs. We stream all and echo all of y'all's conference network content on there. So if you want to check out the Tide Talk podcast, check out our channels. If you want to check out Locked On Ole Miss, check out our channels. Biscuits and SEC, check out our channel. So on and so forth. I'm not going to go through all the shows that are echoing on our channel, but there's quite a few of them. So I think when you I'm glad to be back in action. I think 2022 is going to be a huge year with the setup we have with this whole network that we've got going on. It's like it's not a content network. It's like a financial network where we're just kind of all sharing each other's content and trying to just build those dollars. So if you know somebody that wants to advertise across multiple platforms and really drive their views up, send them our way or get them on your show or just let us know. If you want to be a part of it, just hit us up, any one of us up on DM, and we'll be glad to feature you. We'll get you a little logo. We'll talk about you like I did with Bet Online, like I did with Lightbox Jewelry last few weeks. Hope some people's wives took advantage of that offer and got some good gifts there. So any final words, Vinny? I'll start with you. Any final words?
we had the appetizer bowls, like I like to call them. No disrespect, but now it's about to get fun. All best of luck to you guys Friday. Everybody's gonna be locked in to see how the Final Four plays out.
That's right.
And it's that, and for the people, like you said, Lightbox Jury, Israel and I are November ugly birthstones, so you can get you a nice pretty stone on Lightbox Jury.
Yeah.
Nice.
The doo-doo brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Doo-doo brown. Absolutely. What a great color.
That's great.
It's the color of the stain on the back of your pants after you saw that Army fullback bearing down on you.
That's right.
Moment was too big for you.
Pissed down your leg and pooped your pants.
Yes. You might want to check out that Air app and see if there's any coaches that want to. Yeah. Guy's hilarious. Israel, anything you want to knock it out with?
Just be safe out here. I thought, you never want to take COVID lightly, but, I didn't think it was that serious until now. Everybody's kind of get hit with it. Just be safe. We really enjoyed seeing everybody at games and, everybody out having fun. So just be safe wherever you go.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. Just make sure, stay safe, do what you need to do, take care of yourself. If you're feeling a little sick, just stay home. It's no big deal. We'll forgive you. Again, we are, and make sure that if you are sick, that you're going to have right here on the Y'all's Conference Network, Believe Podcast Network, there's plenty of content for you to binge on. There's plenty of good shows out there on Netflix and Apple TV Plus and HBO Max. There's tons of good football on. There's a lot of stuff that you can do from the comforts of your own home. So no need to get out and about if you are feeling a little down and under the weather. To all the bowl games that are actually happening, good luck to your team. Stay safe. We hope that if you're listening, we hope that your team wins. Unfortunately, if you're a Gator fan, I can't help it. You guys just make it too easy for me. But you guys will see me back here Wednesday night on SEC After Dark. Israel, you and I. Tomorrow night, actually, we're gonna stream. We're gonna stream live, so the chat's gonna be rocking and rolling. So we'll be right here with you tomorrow night as well. So for Vinny, for Israel, we are the Beast of the East podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, and also coming at you on the video side of it from the Y'all's Conference Network. So we hope you have a great rest of your week. We hope you have an even better weekend, an even better New Year's, and we hope that you ride into 2022 in style. We are the Beast of the East podcast. See you later. Peace.
Peace.